Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's me, your boy, Lil Homie, Big G, aka Clarence. You know how it goes. So first, I just want to thank you guys for sticking with me as I get my life together. A lot of crazy stuff has been going on behind the scenes, and it's greatly affected my ability to upload videos. And I know that there's a glare on the screen. I'm wearing my glasses today. Whoa, glare! But I'm back, bigger, badder, better than ever, in fact. While I haven't been able to upload like I wanted to in the past, I actually have taken that time to just write as regularly as possible. And because of my ability to do that and my ability to just sit back and write, I've actually created a lot of new content for the channel, especially in regards to SCP. And the thing I wanted to talk about today is what is SCP not? And some of the more eagle-eyed people amongst you guys, the more eagle-eyed, may have realized that my SCP have a big bracketed knot in there. And I did talk about it in my first video as to why they're called SCP knots. But I don't think I've ever talked about it again. If I did, then I don't remember. It's been a little while since I uploaded. And the reason why I decided to call these SCP knots is because they're not by any means or fashion official SCPs. What? Crazy. Yeah, you can't read my SCPs anywhere else. You have to come to my channel to see them. I was originally going to put them on the SCP website, but at the time I was too busy to figure out all the craziness they had that you have to go through in order to post on their site. It makes sense. It makes sense. I'm not trashing their site or anything. I love their site. But you have to go to different forums, talk to different people, have several approvals, get passcodes from reading. It's a lot. It's a lot of stuff that you have to do. And I just didn't have the time, the patience, the social desire to reach out to individuals to actually make that. I'm actually pretty lazy in terms of certain things that I do, even if I really enjoy it, which is crazy, but hey, what am I going to do? So yeah, that's the reason why I have SCP knots and you see Greek alphabets in my SCP, because it's not official. It's in the SCP knot universe, my own creation for Revoked Studio. So yeah, literally it just came from my desire to create original content along with original SCPs and not being able to post it on the site. So it's just I'll make my own thing. It's fine with me. So now, my main goal isn't to explain the entirety of the SCP universe and destroy the mysteries behind certain organizations and things like that. But I do like for my universes to have a little bit more known details so that it's easier to craft in them. And since that's the route I'm going, I was just I'm going to bring people on this journey with me as I develop the SCP Knot universe and kind of fill in some gaps that are left to the imagination. With my imagination, of course. The first thing I'm going to be doing is continuing the What is SCP Foundation videos. There's actually going to be 6 of them. I think originally I said there were going to be 4 or something. I bumped it up to 6 because there's a lot of information about the SCP organization, and that's just going to be in the main series. I'm going to do a side series for the SCP talking about the Scrinton reality engines, or reality anchors, not engines, talking about different facets and different concepts that I brought up in the universe, like Hell's Gate. If you don't know what that is, watch my videos. Anyways, but after I get done with that 6-part series, I'm planning on going to other facets of the SCP universe and explaining those in the same or even greater fashion as I get better at making videos. So the next organization I'm planning on going into after the SCP Foundation is actually going to be Chaos Insurgency. I'm going to go over thaumaturgy, however that word is pronounced, which is essentially magic and mysticism and arcane ability. Also, I want to go over the Global Occult Coalition, of course. I also found out more about the canon of the SCP universe. Yes, there's a canon in the SCP universe. And part of that is actually Third's Law, which I think is fascinating. So I'm definitely doing a series on that. The Bellverse, which is absolutely crazy. Look into it yourself before I start diving into that one. Nobody, which I know nothing about, but somebody actually recommended that I look into them. the SCP extra normal events and unexplained locations, which aren't like SCP entries. They're just like side things that happen that nobody can. What? Nobody knows what's happening. I want to go into Parawatch and then also much, much more. Just filling out the universe in a way that makes sense to this brain here, the only one that matters. So, because of my extremely just packed to the brim, to bursting over schedule, and the fact that I'm actually working on artwork myself for like the different videos, like the pixelated work that I'm going to be putting into it. I actually create those, and it takes a while. I'm probably not going to come out with a SCP explanation video but like once a month, only because it takes so long to actually make those animations, because I'm not good at it yet, but I'm getting better. I'm getting there. It's happening. Also, before I forget, I am new to social media. I have a Twitter account and also have an account on Reddit as well. Same name on both of those, Revoke Studio. If you want to follow me on there, I post sometimes on both of those. I have a Twitter, I have a Reddit, and then that's it. You can't find me anywhere else on the internet. If anything else comes up with the Revoke Studio, I'm suing them. I'm suing them. That's my name. It's not trademarked or anything, but it's mine. I made it. Or I stole it from somebody. I don't remember. But yeah, if you like my content, definitely stick around. We're coming out with more videos, or by we, I mean me, myself, and only I are coming out with more videos. We're expanding the team. And, I'm excited about the new visuals that we're going to be putting into our videos that are original and created by yours truly. Once again, say it with me. Lil homie Big G. You didn't say it, but that's fine. But I'm really excited about it. But that's pretty much it for this video. I'm out.